Hey guys, welcome to the first vlog on the Shemp channel. In this video we're going to be talking about how I am starting to properly organize my Game Boy cartridge games on my collection, because I'm a collector. I like to collect things, I like to make them all nice and neat and organized on my shelf, and I can't really do that with Game Boy cartridges because they're just so tiny. You can't just stick them on the shelf. They're not proportioned. You can't stack them on top of each other because of the curved part of the top, so they just kind of fall off. So you need a nice way to organize it. Now some people have their own methods. I've seen people use, like when people show off their Pokemon trading card collection, they have those big planners with the plastic slots for the, not plastic, but yeah, the plastic slots for the cards, that people start using that for Game Boys. People also use little tiny desk drawers to just throw in cartridges like Game Boy and DS. Now, all that works, but it's not easy to just open it and then find the game you want to look for. You have to scuttle around in there to find what you want. So I wanted to try to find a method that made it easy to organize my Game Boy cartridges to where I can at least find one when I'm looking for one. So the one method that I found most useful is using cassette tape cases. Now, these are not easy to find. Really the only place locally near you that would probably have it is maybe a Goodwill. Don't count on it, but I would say maybe they have one. It worked for like a prototype version of it, but it's, I don't know if you can see that, but it's really scratched up and it just doesn't look good. But the biggest part of this are these. I had to completely remake this artwork from scratch. And not only that, but I had to print out a couple of test things to get the right sizes. So if you're wanting to do this, I'm gonna eliminate that headache by putting the document I made for the right size of these in the description below. So if you want to do these yourself, you don't have to worry about wasting ink and printing all these different types of test ones just to get one that fits this. No. Just go to the description. There's a link to download the document. It's a Word document, so make sure you have Microsoft Word. And all you need to do is drag and drop the artwork that you want and just resize it to the same size as this, and you're good. Just print it, cut it, stick it in. Now, I am going to be going through the process of remaking these because a lot of the ones that I found just weren't that good. They had some guys like watermark all over it and things weren't proportionate, so I went ahead and just made it myself. So this, I'll also put this cover on in the description if you want to download it. So let's start the process of how to get these things started. So I'm gonna go over there and open up the pack of 10, yeah, I think 10 of the cassette tapes that I got. And if you want to buy these, I'll link the Etsy shop in the description so you can pick them up for yourself. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and cut this thing open. Tissue paper. Oh! Oh, he gave me some business cards. I'll show that on screen. Yeah, this is who I got it from. Sleevey Wonder, Bag'em and Tag. All right, there's his eBay, Amazon, and Etsy. Oh, these are all the different types of things that he says. Okay, so yeah. If you're looking for any type of case, check this guy out. The price was really good. I paid $10 for a pack of 10. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Wow, these are just straight up brand new. Yeah, these are just brand new. All right, guys. So yeah, go check out Sleevey Wonder. This guy's awesome. Thank you again, Jeff. Yeah, thanks again, Jeff. Okay, so I have both files saved as a Photoshop file and a Paint.net file. So if you don't own Photoshop, obviously because it's too damn expensive, you can use the free alternative called Paint.net, and you can throw these things together just like you would in Photoshop, although the layout is just a little bit different. But right now, the first thing I wanted to get done on the box art was the background, and you don't really pay much attention to the background, but it is a blue checkerboard, and I didn't want to just enlarge this checkerboard and just make it fill up the whole screen. I wanted to make it accurate as possible because the checkerboard on the original is smaller, so making it bigger just would look lazy. So what I did was I copied each layer and I arranged them to make it look like one long checkerboard pattern without enlarging it and being lazy. Oh, I'm out of breath. And then I had to adjust the color to match the box art, which is just like kind of a lightish teal. And the next part is adding the characters. Now,
what I'm about to do, yeah, right here, I noticed that Sonic's ear is over the logo in the original box art. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to cut his ear and then put it on a new layer. But as you can see, it's giving me these weird tears in it that I can't cover up without it looking weird. But then I realized I could just move his layer over the logo, and all of that was completely unnecessary. I was just in another mode from when I made my Crash Bandicoot thumbnail for the video. And then this next part is adding the characters. Now, I'm trying to make it as proportionate as possible because this is a longer cover as compared to the box, the square box of the original Game Boy cover. So I'm trying to align them to where they don't have a lot of unnecessary space between them, but they do cover up a good portion of the cover without making it feel too clustered. And as you can see, Amy's hand and hammer are bleeding through the gray lines in the spine, and that is kind of, yeah, it is bleeding to the spine, so that's going to be weird. So what you want to do is you want to get the selection tool and just select it and then delete. It's as easy as that. And then you want to do the same thing for the spine, because that's probably just me, but it does bug me that I can notice it bleeding through the spine. And what I tried to do here was delete the checkerboard bleeding through, but that ended up not working, so I just left it because it's not really that noticeable. Next up is the ESRB rating. I don't want to make it too big, so just tuck it down there in the corner. And then we put the company logos. Now, I do put THQ in here, but as you can see, I go ahead and put Sega because it's a fucking Sonic game, and it's just weird looking at Sonic Advance, the original box art, and not seeing Sega on the front. So I just went ahead and put both of them on there, and I did want to have them side by side, but that ended up looking a little too clustered. There was too much going on, so I just stacked them on top of each other and shrunk them down a little bit. And after that, oh, I remember what I was trying to do. For my Sonic Advance 3, I put on a little Sonic head, yeah, the Sonic Lives head from Sonic X, I think. And I couldn't extract it from Paint.net because they're just that difficult. So what I had to do was hide every layer, and then save it as a PNG. Really tedious. That was probably my fault because I didn't make a copy of this. I had to extract it from a sprite sheet. But that's not Paint.net's fault. It's my fault. I just didn't think in advance. But I like to use that little head for every Sonic spine, or every Sonic cover that I use, just because it gives it a little character. Yeah, so it can identify, hey, it's a Sonic game. And then I also throw in a Chow. I like throwing in the Chow in the back, just because I don't know if you saw that on the Sonic Advance 3 one. And then, oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, you gotta put the logo on the spine of the cover. But I did end up putting it the wrong way, so I'll go ahead and fix that. Making sure it's center. Now I'm just double checking everything. And I think that's it, yeah. That's honestly it. Then you save it as a PNG, you save the document just to make sure. And now there I go, double checking to make sure it works. Oh, no, okay. I noticed this last minute, but if you look at the original box art, there's this circle behind Sonic, and I don't really remember that. So I went ahead and started recreating that. I never noticed that there was a circle behind him. So what I did was I made a circle, stroked it with a black stroke, and then I duplicated it and changed the stroke white because there's this white lighting. There's the white lighting around the circle inside the stroke. So what I did was I tried to resize it to where it would fit around the edges so it looked as close as possible. And I'm pretty happy with the results. I'll be putting this in the description too.
Now the next part is obviously to print. Now you can use photo paper if you really want that glossy look that typically cases have. That if you want a game right now, a PS3, PS4, whatever, the cover art is printed on photo paper, which is why it looks so sharp and feels so smooth. You can use that if you want, but to me that feels like a little bit of a waste of photo paper since this is just a small case. So I would suggest using regular paper or I always suggest using regular paper to save yourself some money. After you're done printing, the next step is to cut it out. So just grab any old pair of scissors, one from your kitchen, one from your room, whatever you want, and make sure to cut right on the edge of that line. Try your hardest to make it as symmetrical as possible. It won't be completely destroyed if you kind of go in a little bit and curve it, but just try your best to make it a full rectangle to get the best possible results. If you're printing for multiple cases, you can fit at least 2, I want to say 3, but I wouldn't try it, but you can fit at least 2 cover arts per page, so you can save yourself more paper. Up next, all you're really gonna do is fold it on the creases of the box art. So wherever you see that gray little line, that's where you wanna fold it. So there's one. So now that you have this, we can move on to the final parts. Alright, for the next to last step, you're going to need to get your cassette tape case, and this next part is not really challenging. It's just going to require breaking off these two little nubs here. That is going to prevent the cartridge from staying in. As you can see, we can't really put it in and close it because of these pins. So all you need is a pair of pliers. You should be using a pair of needle nose pliers, but this is all I have. So just gonna put it right there. All you gotta do is twist, and it breaks off extremely easy. Now you can break off the second one if you want, so you can have a fully open flat. But if you have Game Boy Color cartridges or regular Game Boy cartridges, you know those things are pretty big, so if you put them in here, this thing will keep it from rattling around. But for a Game Boy Advance game, you're gonna have a little bit of rattle. But even with that, I'm gonna keep in that small one to eliminate as much rattle as possible. But regardless, it's still... Shut up! Okay, so this part is probably the hardest part, so please make sure you pay attention. This is the hardest part, okay? If you fuck this up, you have to start the entire thing over, so watch carefully. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so you're gonna take your case, all right? Now you need steady hands. Okay. You take your case, okay? You need to take your box art. Make sure it's folded, all right? You can't do this if it's not folded. So what you're gonna wanna do is take it, slide it, and there you go. So what you can do, and what I like to typically do, is take the cartridge and slide it in there to make sure the box art stays nice and comfy in there, because the lighting is kind of bad. You can see it's kind of poking out right there. So what I like to do is I like to take the cartridge, slide it in there to push it all the way back, and then close it, and then you have your own custom Game Boy case. So there you go, you have your own custom Game Boy cases. Now these are probably my favorite collector's cases, just because they look so glossy, unique, and they're tiny. Like you just put these anywhere and display them. They'll look really good. I love how shiny they are, and I love how they just look like collectors. They just look like collector's items. So if you want to make these yourself, the link to the Etsy shop is down in the description, so you can get 10 of these things for $10. It is very affordable if you want to start doing these. All the files are going to be put in a zip file, and you can download that down in the description. All the files that I use are in this video, even the Sonic ones, if you want to put together yours or print them. And if you make any more, be sure to tweet them at me. I want to see what game cases you put together and show me how they look on your shelf. So follow me, again, that's at @ShpellyTheGreat, and I hope you guys like this video. This is the first vlog on the Shemp channel, and there is a lot more to come. So if you want to stick around, maybe see what I have left, click that subscribe button and click that bell icon so you know whenever I upload a new video. If you're looking for something else, I did upload a video on Spyro Into the Dragonfly. It's kind of a It's not really a Let's Play, it's like a Let's Play compilation where I just sat down for a session and then edited together the good parts of it. So if you like that too, be sure to let me know and I'll upload more of that. So, I'll see you guys later.